Hey, Shalom, Ka'Allah, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem HaKadosh, double head apostles of great millstone, and Shalom, true brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continuing fighting the good fight of faith. I also want to say Shalom to all you sisters out there who truly believe and trust in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, we are found in that number. All right, so this is going to be a lesson concerning spiritual Israelites, okay? Which you technically, you are not a spiritual Israelite. You are not an Israelite, and whatever nation you derive from or come from, that's who you are. Okay, so stop trying to steal the salvation, because it's not meant for you. Now, if one's going to call themselves a spiritual Israelite, they had to have come to a conclusion somewhere along the lines of their study that anybody outside the nation of Israel was damned, basically. Okay? So, in order to avoid judgment, in order to avoid that stigma of being a heathen, they then turn and call themselves spiritual Israelites. All right? Well, we're going to go through a couple scriptures to let you know that there is no such thing as spiritual Israelites. All right? Now, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites are spiritual people and be connected to the Most High. But as far as you other nations, you got no play in this game, baby. There's no play at all in this game. All right? So going from there, let's go to Acts 5th chapter. And it says, "And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven." Okay? It's hard to believe that these individuals do so much research and they know so much, but they can't decipher whether or not salvation is for them or not. Okay? So these are the things that we're going to look into tonight. Now, the devout men out of every nation under heaven. How did these devout men get to every nation under heaven? How did that happen? All right, so let's go and check it out. This is James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Okay? The 12 tribes of Israel were scattered abroad. And because they were scattered abroad, what happened? They became devout men out of every nation under heaven. So back at that time, the whole known world, Israel was scattered and sprinkled throughout all the lands, man. See, what you people try to do is you try to totally eliminate the children of Israel as the people being in these other nations. You try to totally eliminate that, which now you believe it opens the door for you and whoever you may be to come see the Lord. All right, well, it ain't that kind of show, man. It's not going down like that. And you're going to see and you're going to understand real soon. The more these prophecies come to pass, the more brothers wake up, the more the truth gets pushed out into the four corners of the earth. You are now going to start to see that this thing was never meant for you, and nor will you ever be a part of it. All right? So, those individuals who were scattered in all the nations were Israelites concerning the promises. All right? So from there, let's go to the book of Genesis, the 17th chapter. All right? And another one of their standing points, so they say, is because Abraham became the father of many nations. Just because he became a father of many nations, that does not include any other group of people. What do you have to do concerning Abraham and that holy line, which, which is the whole storyline, if you will? Like I said earlier, I find it hard to believe that you people cannot see and understand that the Lord gave Abraham a chosen line of people to deal with. All right? You're so goddamn smart, but you don't understand that. You tend to just skip over that for some odd reason or another. All right, so let's read it. Let's start from the we'll start from the top just to get a little, insight. It says, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee and will multiply thee exceedingly. All right. So now, as we're starting to understand, he said he's going to multiply Abraham exceedingly. All right. So at this point, we know nothing about the children of Israel. At this point, we don't know the 12 patriarchs. Okay, we don't even know Isaac at this point. So, and this is why the Lord is about to make a statement to him, and this is why he makes this particular statement. Okay, and it says, and Abram fell on his face, and the power talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay? Now, people read verse 4 and believe that incorporates them or gives them the green light to be a spiritual Israelite. Okay? Now, I want to say this about verse 4. The Lord told him, I will multiply thee exceedingly. All right, in verse 2. And in verse 4, he says what? He says, thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay? Now, why would the Lord tell Abraham he was going to be a father? Because once again, at this point, Abraham didn't understand or know how vast his seed was going to be. Okay? And that seed was going to be spread throughout every region of the whole known world at this point. Okay? So, keep that in mind. So now from there, we're going to jump over to Romans, the 4th chapter and the 18th verse. Now here you're going to understand the difference between a father and the father. All right? Romans 4:18. It says, who against hope believed in hope, that he might become the father of many nations. Okay? That he might become the father of many nations. Now, when you use that word the before father of many nations, that's absolutely pinpointing that this man was going to be the only one. Okay? He is the father. As to when it was said in the book of Genesis, the 17th chapter, he said, I will make a matter of fact, let me get it. I don't want to misquote it. It's important right here. Okay. 17 in verse 4. It says, for behold, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay? Now, that word shall determines that it is going to take place. No matter what, no matter how, it is going to happen. Okay? But at this point, even on the planet at that time, there was other men that were fathers of many nations. Okay? So the Lord just specified to him in this fashion that thou shalt be a father of many nations. All right? So you individuals out there, you people out there, believe that this is your ticket in, but it's not. This does not include you. All right? So as we go back to Romans, and it's going to explain to you why it doesn't include you. And it says, who against hope believed in hope that he might become the father of many nations, according to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. All right? This is the point. Abraham became the father. Why? Because it was his seed that traveled through himself, through Isaac, and through Jacob, and through the 12 patriarchs. Okay? So get this whole idea out of your mind that because Abraham is the father of many nations, that opens the door for everybody that believes. No, it doesn't open the door for everybody that believes. Okay? As it says, so shall thy seed be. Okay? His seed, Abraham's seed, was going to be dispersed throughout many nations. And this is exactly who it's referring to. The children of Israel. Through the seed and the holy and royal line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you don't come out of those three men, then salvation is not for you. It's a tough pill to swallow, but choke that shit down, man. Choke it down. All right? So let's prove a little more. Let's prove a little more. So from there, let's go to Revelation 7 and 9. All right? We're going to get right to the point. But from verse 4 on down to 9, I'll say 8. It speaks about the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, and the 144,000 men, which consist of the governing body of the nation of Israel. Okay? That's who, and we all can agree on that. We all can agree. So, the second crutch that these people, these so-called spiritual Israelites, use is verse 9. To try to lump them into the fold. Let's read verse 9 and we're going to break it down. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues. Okay? Now, one without any understanding will read this and say, you see, all nations. And we've had people come up and say it. We've had people bring it out. I mean, they brought it out like it was the dagger. They sat on it and finally brought it out and like, woo, you know. But once again, the scriptures say, and it's clear. The scriptures say this and it's very clear. With all thy getting, get understanding. So now let's get understanding. Okay? Let me finish it off. It says, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Okay. So from here, we're going to go to the Blue Letter Bible. Okay, this is the Blue Letter Bible. And the word is, matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. All right. So this is Revelation 7 and 9. So we're going to break it down. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. So we're going to start there. Okay? Because the consensus is that anybody who is not an Israelite is a part of that multitude. That's what they believe. So let's go to multitude. Now keep in mind what we said earlier about verse 4 down to 8. Verse 4 down to 8 specifically specifies the 144,000 men out of the children of Israel. Okay? And I said to you earlier, that's like the governing body. All right? So we're going to listen to this word.
Strong's G 3793, Achlas. Achlas.
Achlas. Okay? And that's the word for multitude. So we're going to show the outline of the biblical usage. Click that down. And it says, a crowd, a casual collection of people, a multitude of men who have flocked together in some place, a throng, a multitude. Now here's the point. A common people as opposed to the rulers and leading men. A common people as opposed to the rulers and leading men. Why are they a common people? Because they all have something in common, if you will. They're all Israelites. Okay? And who are the rulers and leading men? The 144,000. Okay? So you have the 144,000, and then you have that common people, okay, that multitude, who, as opposed to the rulers and leading men. Okay? The last one says, the multitudes seems to be denote troops of people gathered together without order. Okay? So, from there, we're going to back it up. That was multitude, right? A group of individuals outside of the governing body and leading men. And it says, which no man could number. And it says, of all nations. Now, that's key point number 2. Let's look at the word, the Greek word for nations, and see what it brings us. And the word is
Strong's G 1484, ethnos.
Ethnos. Okay. So let's scroll down and open the Bible usage. And it says, a multitude, whether of men or beasts, associated or living together. A company, troop, swarm, a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus. That's the point. A multitude, because that's exactly what was seen, a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genius. How can they be the same nature? What would bring these this multitude together to be the same nature or genius. Okay, and that word genius goes back to gene. So all these individuals with the same nature were Israelites. Okay? And it says, the human family, a tribe, nation, people, group. In the OT, Old Testament, foreign nations not worshiping the true power, pagans, Gentiles. Okay? And of course, Esau throws a couple bones in everything he does. But we see through all that nonsense. Okay? So, now, this representation of the nations has individuals of the same nature or genius, I should say. So let's back it up again. All right. So we looked up the word multitude, which was a body of men and women who were not of the governing body or elect body. Okay. That was multitude. Then we looked up the word nations, which it describes these individuals having the same nature or genius. Okay? Going back to the gene, the seed, if you will. Let's go a little further. Now let's look up the word kindred. Now, once again, keep in mind what we said about Revelation 7, 4 through 8. And now, when you read nations and kindreds, now it's going to make sense. Okay? Because are not all the 12 tribes brothers? And if they are brothers, then anybody that's associated to those brothers are going to be kinfolk. So let's go into the Strong's G 5443, and it reads:
Strong's G 5443. Foulet. Foulet.
Foulet. Okay, so let's go down to the Bible usage again. Open it up and see what it says. It says a tribe. In the New Testament, which everybody likes to, hammer down the fact that anything in the Old Testament is done away with, so they like to go to the New Testament. Well, here you go. In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. That's the point. Okay? That is the point. That is what we're talking about. We're talking about the multitude of people which the world loves to adopt and just distribute it throughout all nations, saying, look, read this. That's you. This includes you. Wrong. Okay? When you're talking about the kin, okay, it tells you in the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, which makes these people Israelites. No ifs, no buts, no humming and hawing about it. Okay? So, you people need to get out of your head that because Abraham had become the father of many nations, that includes you. Wrong. Because it says, so shall thy seed be. And we know and understand through the reading of the scriptures, the seed, of the flesh according to the promise, who are Israelites, who are that seed. All right? So there's really no way around it. It's clear. But you people refuse to get into the etymology of the words, to look up definitions of words, and to be very astute. Because if you have done these things, then you would have no question in your mind whether or not if you can be a spiritual Israelite or not. This multitude of people were actually flesh seed Israelites. None of that spiritual make-believe, made-up shit. All right? Okay, so let's go. Let's just end this up. Okay, we did kindreds and peoples. Let's see what that says. Come on now. Left up now, baby. There we go. Okay. The Greek word is
Strong's G 2992. Laos. Laos.
the word is laos. Let's go down to the Bible usage. Open it up. It says a people, people group, tribe, nation. Okay. All those who are of the same stock and language. Okay. Now, the Lashon Kodash, okay, the holy tongue, the Hebrew, was our primary language. All right. Though we were scattered and took up different languages, but when the Lord brings us back, He's going to give us our pure language back. Okay? But now, understanding what it means by the peoples, and it says, all those who are of the same stock. Okay? That word stock can be synonymous with seed or lineage. Okay? So, that's people. Let's go back. Let's go down and see what else we got. And tongues. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen these in a while. So, bear with me.
Strong's G 1100. Glossa. Glossa.
Glossa. Open up the Strong's usage. It says the tongue, a member of the body, an organ of speech, a tongue, language or dialect used by a particular people distinct from that of other nations. Whew. And who are those particular? Oh my gosh. You can't get around this, man. Okay? The Lord does not describe any other nation to be a peculiar nation, okay, unto Himself, but the children of Israel. Okay? Now it's describing us as a particular people. Distinct from, and wasn't it going back to, I think it was Exodus, when the Egyptian women was speaking about the Hebrew women. Okay, there was no doubt that there was a distinction between the Egyptian women and the Hebrew women. And the scripture says that the Lord doth put a difference between Israel and them other Hamite nations, man. So there you go. There you go. So much for your spiritual Israelite shit. That's right out the door. Gone. You can't use these scriptures. You won't use these scriptures no more to try to hammer home that nonsense. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Yeah, that's about it. You know, and these people stood before the throne. Why are they standing before the throne? Because the marriage of their king was now set. All right? The lamb. Let's look that word up, lamb. See what it says. Bible usage, little lamb, lamb. But we know that to be Yahweh Shai. Okay? We know that to be Yahweh Shai. Alright? Alright. So, that being said, all this being done, you know, there's no more room for nonsense, man. We at the end of this thing. And may Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai bring it to a speedy riddance. Or for however long we're here, we're going to do what we got to do, man. All right? So, Lord willing, brothers are edified. And Lord willing, I'll see you on another show. I pray that you were edified. Until next time, I say shalom.